Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode, fresh off of a disastrous race from Las Vegas to open up this brand new round of 8 where we are 6 points below the cut line coming into Talladega behind Chris Buescher, Truex, Bell, and their JGR teammate of Hamlin all on the outside looking in alongside me. But it's Talladega. We know anything can happen. Positions will shake up, points will be a huge shakeup leading into Martinsville, and we have an opportunity to rebound from our disastrous weekend in Las Vegas. Self-spin, self-crash into the outside wall. Late in the race, nothing went well, but we did rebound to a decent finishing effort. News this weekend as well, Toyota has gained a new team. JTG Doherty Racing is going to be switching to Toyota going into next season, and Corey Heim will be behind the wheel of the 47 cars. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Is going to be departing the team. That's some big news out of this weekend here. Now as we roll through into this qualifying effort, you can see Stenhouse, speaking of MP18, but up front on the front row, Hendrick Motorsports, Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott with last episode winner Gibbs in third, Logano and Byron fourth and fifth. But your starting position doesn't matter here in Talladega. Xfinity Series, they were in Homestead, Miami this weekend. We saw Austin Hill actually go back-to-back, winning another race. SVG there in P8. Ty Dillon inside the top 10, as well as you see the rest of the finishing order on your screen. But it's time for some Talladega racing. Let's go to Sunday.
It's the wild card race of the playoffs. Talladega is set to make and break some drivers. Season's here today. And after a shockingly poor run from half the round of 8 last week, everything is up in the air today, Steve.
There's not a single playoff driver who is safe or feels confident today, Rick, and they shouldn't. This is going to be a challenging race, almost for all 8 drivers, as they have to deal with the other 32 who could cause the big one.
And we know there can be chaos next week in Martinsville too, guys. Unless you come out of here 20 points above the cut line, you're very much so in danger next week too.
Car doesn't matter here today. We've got a shot to make up for last week.
10-4. Spotting will be important. Just keep me in the right place, and we'll be there at the end. We'll be there at the end, at least in one way or another. Stories of the race. How about Corey LaJoie? He crashed during qualifying somehow. I don't know how you crash at Talladega in a single file or a single car qualifying run, but he made it happen. Chris Buescher in the final 4 currently failed technical inspection. He'll be starting from the back. Alex Bowman there, that Ally Financial Chevrolet on pole position. We've seen a lot of non-playoff winners this season. Obviously, today's a great opportunity for that to happen once again here now as we are racing from Talladega Superspeedway, and race 2 of the round of 8 is underway. We've already, in my opinion, exceeded my personal expectation for this playoff run. We've had no support from Colleague Racing. We haven't even been in the shop since the end of the regular season. No contact really with the owners, and we have done an exceptional job for the situation at hand. However, we come into this race below the cut line. Fortunately, we rebounded decently in Las Vegas, and other contenders in the round of 8 had some struggles, which opened the door wide open for us to really only find ourselves 6 points below the cut line coming into today. So we've got a very real chance to make up those points and then some going into Martinsville. And if we can, go into Martinsville above the cut line, I mean, we've got a very serious chance of making it into that Final Four. Think about where we got our first career win this season. It was Martinsville. Of course, it was close. William and Byron got alongside us at the end. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be really interesting. We have seen things, though. Martinsville, there's always potential for things to go right and for things to go wrong. Just, well, I guess like any track in the NASCAR Cup Series. But, really, it couldn't go any more right or wrong at a track like Talladega. Sometimes the season part, you get opportunities of a lifetime here. Sometimes the season falls apart at this racetrack. NASCAR with a bold move to move this, of course, Talladega Superspeedway into the round of 8 because there's so much at stake, so much unknown that this track can produce, especially for playoff drivers, but of course for everybody really involved in this race. Lap 3 of 14 at this point here in stage 1. We're moving on up. Chastain on the outside. We're up to P26 here in the running order currently now as we come through 3 and 4. Truex, Martin Truex Jr. crashes in front of the back half of the field. The big one strikes on just lap 3. Jones, Keselowski, and several others. Austin Hill included. The caution flies. Here's an immediate replay. Truex blows a tire running just outside of the top 10 and collects several several cars, Suarez, Busher, Gilliland all involved as well there as the caution flies on the opening lap, and I was able to dive down to the apron and avoid the first of what could be maybe several big ones here today. So that means we're going to be in okay shape, and now we run P21. We gained a handful of positions. Somehow Martin Truex Jr. is not out of the race, and that's still going to hurt him because his odds of getting stage points when he really needs stage points coming in below the cut line are now quite low. 8 laps to go in stage 1. You can definitely go from the back to the top 10 at Talladega in 8 laps, but for the AI to actually do it, it's quite difficult. For me to do it, it can be done. Not the easiest thing in the world, but it is possible, and I mean, we're proving that we're moving forward. Someone's slow. The outside line is not going. A huge opportunity for us. It's Kyle Larson that was slowing up everybody, and he's jumped to the 3rd lane on the outside, and he is dropping like a rock down this back straightaway. One of the potential Final 4 favorites. Of course, you look at really 3 big names that have been the favorites. Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, the regular season champion, Ross Chastain. Chastain was the best playoff driver of anybody last episode in Las Vegas, and then I really consider that 4th one to be Chris Buescher. And if it's not those 4 drivers in the Final 4, then somebody undeserving got in, and hopefully the undeserving person is me. I'm selfish, and I want in on this Final 4 to say, you know, big screw you to Colleague Racing as well. In the meantime would be pretty nice. But we had jumped up to the 2nd lane. I saw some movement from it, but I think we might regret it here in these next few laps because you can see now struggling to go forward. But then the C's open. Blaney to the top, Suarez to the inside. His future still undetermined. Another domino, of course, fell at the start of this episode with JTG announcing, of course, going to Toyota next season. As you can see us going down at the order here now. But yeah, Corey Heim going to be behind the wheel of the 47. And if you're wondering where Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is going, current rumor on the block is he's going nowhere. He's going to his house instead. It sounds like he's actually just considering potential retirement here. So yeah, it'd be really interesting to see how that works out for Stenhouse. We'll stay tuned. Maybe an Xfinity ride could line up and he might want to do that, or he's just going to go dirt racing. We'll have to wait and see. Nonetheless, running down in P17 here with just a few laps to go in the stage. Alex Bowman currently out in front of you. Look at the track map. You can see as well a bunch of cars that gotten disconnected. It's just a weird kind of ending to this stage, and once I got up to the 2nd lane, I found it nearly impossible to get back down here. Everybody was just kind of filling those gaps here. Now I almost have a gap right here between myself and Stenhouse now, but obviously right there is my teammate of AJ Allmendinger. We're 4 wide now as we make contact with the 47. He saves it. John Hunter now to my inside, as I had help from Sammy Smith. Andretti giving Smith as much experience behind the wheel of a Cup car that they can before he goes in to that car full-time next season, of course, in replacement of Corey LaJoie, who's driving the 48 for Alex Bowman. And now, actually, the caution's going to fly here on this last lap of stage number 1, so P15 is what it's going to be. I think Bowman was leading at the time. Yes, Alex Bowman over Ryan Vargas, Riley Herbst, Suarez, and Paris. A lot of surprise names up there as well joining Bowman. Everybody's going to pit for 4 tires in field. BJ McLeod brings out the caution from the back there. It's going to be the end of the day for him. Kozlowski running in dead last. Kozlowski was finally in position to get his first win as an owner. Last episode in the 6th car. It's taken nearly full 2 seasons to pull it off, and he still choked it in a late race restart. We gained 3 spots in the pits, and now we're on the outside. Almirola lost 7. He's down to P15. Alex Bowman set to lead the field back to the green flag here now. Stage 2 underway from Talladega Super Speedway. Now, no stage points for us. But we didn't really see many playoff drivers get stage points. This is really going to turn into a weird round of the playoffs. Now, Buescher and Larson did pick up some points, so pay attention to those two. But we talked about it a little bit earlier, last episode in Las Vegas. I mean, I was not the only playoff driver struggling. Of course, I was the worst playoff driver of everybody, but fortunately, a lot of drivers struggled and didn't get stage points. And those names include the likes of Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Christopher Bell. Kyle Larson was even a little bit off the pace at times, and that really opened the door for us to, first of all, lose virtually no points in the stages other than a little bit to the likes of Buescher, Chastain specifically. I mean, Chastain was so quick. just not quick enough, obviously, at the end of that race to beat Ty Gibbs. But we also rallied to a solid finish at the end of the race. We adjusted on the car all race long. We kept our head in the game, and we were able to, like I said, already minimize the damage, and we're only 6 points below the cut line coming into today. Now, no stage points so far today, so not a current better point situation, but we are now towards the top 10, looking for the opportunity to get down to the inside, and I'm going to get aggressive here now through the trial. We'll come into lap 3 of stage 2, 4 wide through the middle, Hill on the top, Briscoe, myself in the middle, Cindric on the inside. Now I'm expecting an Austin Hill announcement to that 8 car to be coming very, very soon, but I would get down in front of the 8 car, actually, of Kyle Busch here now, and Ryan Blaney leaves the door open. Thank you very much. 4 wide again, a lot of 4 wide racing suddenly here in stage number 2 to the back of the 2 discount tire forward of Austin Cindric. Now we're going to commit to pushing this number 2 car forward and have the help from Kyle Busch, who's currently in a 4 wide situation of his own here now, but we are continuing to rally our way forward. We're not really working with teammates at this point now. I mean, colleague racing and myself, we're not really vibing to say the least here now, but we continue to just stay on this inside and move forward now with this number 2 car. Alex Bowman on my outside, William Byron out in front. Byron still seeking his first win of the season, but he actually jumped up to the top and dropped like a rock. You can see him now in my rear view mirror up against the wall. So now it was Ricky Sinnos Jr. leading, but we continue to just follow this 2 car, and he would get up to 2nd place. And now us into 3rd, bringing Kyle Busch into 4th. The 47's going to leave the door open. Is he going to take it? No, he's not. The 2 now leaves the door open. Thank you very much. We got to be aggressive here. I'm here to win, and I'm here to maximize stage points as well. Up to 2nd place, but Cindric, he side drafts me on the run towards turn 1, but we are able to get enough of a push from Kyle Busch to get back down front and look at the run we have on Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on the same weekend. Announces that he's not coming back to JTG. We're going to roll up right to the back of the blue and white Chevrolet Camaro to the inside. Kyle Busch goes with us now, and to the lead here in Talladega now as we go down into turn number 3, halfway through stage number 2, and we are in command, and now it's about commanding the lines. Busch to the top, where's he going? And now we're going to jump down in front of Ty Gibbs, 3 wide behind us here. Todd Gilliland in the middle, Busch all on the top, dropping back here through 1 and 2, and now around goes Kyle Busch in front of the pack, and the second time today the big one strikes. Several cars involved, Bowman, as well as the 10, the 9, the 11 playoff contenders. Truex barely squeezes through, but several drivers involved, and 2 big accidents have struck here from Talladega. The caution flies. Everybody's going to pit this time for 4 tires as well as fuel. So we'll get ready to command the field back to the green flag here from Talladega now, and this is going to leave us with just 4 laps to go in this 2nd stage. A bit of work to do to hang on to a stage victory. And immediately you can see a little bit of disorganization behind us. Gibbs, he didn't seem quite sure where he wanted to go. He maintains that 2nd middle lane, however, but there's a bunch of 3 wide already behind us. And now Gibbs fading. Here comes the other monster car, Tyler Reddick. He would jump up to P2 and get behind myself, and now it was trying to really command over him. But here comes the 51 as well. My former teammate of Justin Haley there for Rick Ware Racing. They announced last episode they are selling their charter to Colleague, as well as the 38 for Front Row sold their charter to Colleague. Colleague has bought 2 charters as they look to expand to a 2-car team. Now to the lead, Reddick, the 51 to my back bumper. It actually shoots me down to the inside. Too much of a shove, and that shoots us out of the draft, and past us goes the 51, the 14, the 12. Here comes the 9, the 54 playoff contenders of Bell as well, and Truex, and there goes Gilliland. Or sorry, that's not Martin Truex Jr. That was Riley Herbst. I saw orange and thought Truex, but that's Herbst and the Sunny D machine as we roll through 3 and 4, approaching 2 laps to go, and now we got to try and rally our way back into stage points. We were just in position to win the stage. Now we're out of stage points bang positions here, but we're quickly moving our way back forward now as that middle lane's going backwards, and it includes some playoff contenders of Elliott as well as Christopher Bell. Perfect scenario for myself, and just like that, we're actually going to rally our way back into the top 5 just about here with these final moments in Stage 2 underway, approaching the final lap of Stage 2, now up into P4 to the inside of the 45 and the 51 as our former teammate there of Justin Haley drifts backwards. Reddick still to my outside, help from behind. That's the 30 of the Three Friends Racing Team driver. Ryan Vargas actually up here in the mix. We'll jump to the outside of Gilliland. White flag in the air here. We're in stage number 2. Ryan Blaney, who's been a super speedway merchant, especially at Talladega, out in front. I mean, he's won several times here, feels like now at Talladega, but he can't find a way to win at Daytona. As we head down this back straightaway, I think we maybe made a mistake going to the outside, trying to get a little bit too aggressive with the little time we have. 3 wide now on the outside. Vargas to the inside of Gilliland. Now we're going to really have to rely on Tyler Reddick to help us through 3 and 4. Blaney jumps to the top. That opens the door wide open for Ryan Vargas to the inside. As we clear the 38 of Gilliland, we get to the back of Ryan Blaney down this front straightaway for the final time. And stage number 2 will dive to the inside. 3 wide through the middle between him and Josh Berry. And stage winner, it's Ryan Vargas. P4 for us, 7 points. And that is going to be a big 7 points, as I believe that 7 points is going to be enough to actually put us now into the final 4 mathematically. And that leaves, you know, the all-important final stage here. And Chastain's outside of the top 30. Truex is not even in the top 20. Same situation for Hamlin. Really, really interesting to see things playing out so far here now as we're going to get ready to go back racing. Simple 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires. We gain 1 spot in the pit lane. Can't get any better because now we're not on the outside, we're to the inside. A lot of things are really working in our favor here today. It's the complete opposite of Las Vegas, and this is the type of race we need to just bring us back into the mix to get into this final 4. We don't belong in the final 4, but we seem to be playing our cards right. We're back underway. It's 15 laps to go, so really only about 1 extra lap compared to what stage number 1. So nothing really special here for this 3rd and final stage. However, if it does stay green, we're 2 laps short, so we will need to pit for fuel if it does stay green. We're going to have to pit no matter what. It's just, will it be under caution? Will it be under green flag conditions? It's very rare in NASCAR Heat 5 to have to pit at a plate track under green flag conditions. It has happened in the Heat 5 career mode, not this one, but in previous Heat 5 career series we have done, we have had to pit under under green in the past. Help from behind, the 4 of Josh Berry is going to push us to the outside of Ryan Vargas. Berry in the Rookie of the Year contention against, of course, Carson Hocevar as we go wheel to wheel for the lead. Who's going to lead across the stripe? It's Vargas, leading lap number 1 of stage 3. 14 laps ago, you see me pulling on his right rear quarter panel, going for the side draft, but just being on this outside, it's very difficult to move your way past somebody, especially if they've got just enough drafting help from behind. So I couldn't quite get ahead of him, and actually now you're going to see coming back around to lap 35, Reddick's going to go through on the inside, Ty Gibbs on the inside, Todd Gilliland as well. Gilliland having a really competitive day here, but we've as well seen a lot of presence from the Toyotas of Reddick and Gibbs up front. And speaking of the Toyotas, they would go to the front here as Vargas would drop backwards now, 3 wide to the outside of him, and Byron Gibbs into 3rd. We get past the 30 and jump down in front of him, so that was actually a job well done. That worked out. A bit of contact with the 24. That was not what I was trying to actually do, but Byron clears us. Now we get back down to the bottom. Help from Keselowski. He wants redemption for last episode. 3 wide for the lead was happening on lap 36 in turn 3. We dive to the inside of Byron, and Reddick, who's dropping like a rock, will push the 38 to the lead. New leader, Front Row Motorsports, Todd Gilliland. His future uncertain in the Cup Series, but I expect to see him still in that car next season, as we as well hear that Michael McDowell might not be returning next season in that 34, but we continue on our way forward now to the lead again in Talladega as we approach 10 laps to go, and once again as well we're going to put ourselves in that position to just try and manage the lanes. However, it is hard to defend. Look at the run from the 47 with help from the 27 of LaJoy, and they're going to pass us, and that's going to allow at least Keselowski to reconnect to my rear bumper and try to push me back forward. So we continue down this back straightaway, but now Kozlowski getting detached from me because Gilliland gets through into the middle, and now he's 3 wide, and it's hard to get a run there. And you can see 3 by 3 by 3, several rows deep, but my help is gone. And look at Bubba Wallace struggling alongside the 6 as well. So now we're going to really lose the lead as Stenhouse, Gilliland, LaJoy, and again, here comes Ryan Vargas, goes through Bubba Wallace to the back, right rear of myself, and Kozlowski and myself going to get reconnected once again, which would allow me to power back forward past Vargas up the inside of LaJoy, and now for a move up the inside of Todd Gilliland down this back straightaway on the run through 3 and 4. We get back to second place with 8 approaching 7 laps to go here from Talladega Super Speedway. Now we have put ourselves in perfect position all day long. 7 to go to the back of the 47. Stenhouse has been strong. We've been strong. Chevrolet in general been strong. Crashing Martin Truex Jr. again for the second time, and for the third time today, several cars. The big one strikes again. Heavy impacts there. Playoff contenders as well. And a day gone bad early for Truex. Gets worse here. That might be the end of the day for him. We're going to come in to pit as everybody has to pit, and it's simple. 1 can of fuel, right side tires. We actually lose 3 positions here. Stenhouse, Kozlowski, Vargas, Hill, myself, the top 5. We're back underway here from Talladega now, and it's going to be 4 laps of racing to go from the super speedway, and I actually got into the back of the 30, throwing a block there on the 41, because after I got into the back of the 30, it absolutely stalled out my car, and you can see the consequence now. Gibbs goes past, Bubba Wallace as well, trying to sneak past, but he can't quite get there. LaJoy, he'll go around on the outside as we exit turn 2 down this bank straight away now, and we need some help quickly, otherwise we're going to continue to drop backwards. Here comes my colleague, teammate of Daniel Hemrick, breezing past the 41. Wasn't quite helping me yet. He would finally elect to help me, but it's too little too late. We're down to P11 from P5 on this restart, but a huge run. We take it to the middle here, just really trying to take any bit of momentum into anywhere that we can at this point, especially when there's only, 3 laps to go. Once we start this next lap, Kozlowski to the lead is today finally the day? The answer was no, because he jumped up to the outside, and now it was Austin Hill to the lead, Vargas to follow, and now look at this, we got put 3 wide on the outside here now, as I was not expecting Reddick to jump to the inside of Gilliland, so now I need help from Stenhouse. The 47 tucks in line, and now Austin Hill to the outside. We're about to have another new leader, and that's Ryan Vargas, and with 2 to go, being 3 wide on the outside turned into a complete disaster. We're dropping backwards quickly. Vargas out in front here from Talladega. We're still 3 wide on the outside, coming to the final lap of this race, down to P18 and down to P20, and now I'm realizing we need to go. Desperation kicking in, 4 wide through the middle here when I'm seeing playoff contenders around us, specifically Christopher Bell, as we approach the final lap here. Now help from Bubba Wallace as well to the white flag. It's Vargas up front, but Daniel Hemrick as well in the mix now. White flag in the air. We've made it back. 1 lap to go from Talladega towards turn 1. Daniel Hemrick is going to take the lead. Smoke from Josh Berry into the outside wall as I can end it. Cautions out. Hemrick leads. Daniel Hemrick is going to get the win in Talladega. And I don't even know where we ended up. What a silly ending for us. P17, Vargas in second, Hamlin in third. And the guys that were in the Final Four all get poor finishes. And the drivers outside of the Final Four, aside from Truex, who's in 37th, get good finishes. And look at the effect it has. Elliott Chastain 20 plus points above. We're 11 points above the cut line going into Martinsville. Hamlin above the cut line now. Larson out by 2. Bell out by 4. Busher out by 7. Truex out by 22. But we're in for a heck of an elimination race in Martinsville. I'll see you guys then. Have a great day.